Today's episode is brought to you by thisdayintheNFL.com. Celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at thisdayintheNFL.com.
All set to go here this afternoon in this one against the San Diego Chargers. The Lions won the toss. They will receive. And now before the opening kick, let's take 15 seconds for station identification. This is the Detroit Lions Football Network. Peyton in the middle. Leonard Thompson on this side, and across the way, Andy Bolton. So we're all set to go. Benershka's kick. Taken on the fly at the 17 by Peyton. Out to the outside, cutting it to the inside at the 30, 35, 40, and down at the 43. So little Eddie Peyton gets the ball game underway at a high point with his return from the 17-yard line up to the Lions' 42. And it'll be first down and 10 Detroit from their own 42-yard line. 27-yard return. Rick Kane and Horace King in the backfield. Charlie Sanders, the tight end. The wide receivers, both of the tight ends are in there. David Hill is put out wide now here to the outside. Luther Blue across the way. Landry at quarterback. Off to Rick Kane, and Kane gets it up to, Horace King, up to the 47 or 48, and Woodrow Lowe is in there, the left linebacking spot, makes the stop. Luther Blue comes out of the lineup now, and we'll set the offensive line. It's Yarborough, Bollinger, Morris, Bodine, and Hertwig along the front line. Charlie Sanders is in there. David Hill also, both the tight ends. The wide receivers, Jarvis, only one of them. And he is wide to this side. Lions moving from my left to my right as we look down from the broadcast booth. Landry at quarterback. San Diego defense jammed in tight. The ball off to Horace King. He doesn't find any running room at all, and he's dropped right about at the line of scrimmage, which is the 48. So it will be 3rd and 4 at the 48. Freddie Dean in there to make the stop. Luther Blue goes back in now. And it'll be 3rd down.
How important these third down situations are, and especially in this opening possession now with these fans on their back a little, if they can come up with a big third down play, kind of get them on their side again, because it's unusual to be playing at home and have your own fans booing you.
3rd and 4 for Detroit at their own 48-yard line, and we're going to get time out for the Lions. So the clock is stopped on the field. With the score, Detroit nothing, San Diego nothing.
We saw it running the snowy ridge, a shiny streak of black. We saw it racing with other sleds and passing up the back. And everybody kind of knew that snowmobile had to be John Deere's new liquefier, 'cause it ran so fast and free. Of all the trail performance sleds a man can hope to drive, there's none that half so handsome and there's none that's so alive. On Deere's new liquefier, the name of the game is fire. And if you're looking for value now, the liquefier's the one.
Big John gets better looking every year. For 78, John Deere's famous liquid-cooled liquefier is a beautiful thing to see. Trimmer by 20 pounds, it'll outrun just about anything on the hill. Get on the new liquefier and you'll know for sure nothing runs like a Deere. Pitfire, the newest member of Big John's family, is on display at your local John Deere dealer. Consult the yellow pages for the dealer nearest you and find out why nothing runs like a Deere.
Bob Reynolds along with Mike Lucci here at the Silverdome. It's 3rd and 4 for Detroit at their own 48-yard line. Opening moments of the ball game, no score, of course. The Lions took the opening kickoff and have it 3rd and 4 at their own 48. The ball handed off to Horace King again. Nowhere, right about at the line of scrimmage. And listen to the boos. He got a yard up to the 49, so it'll be 4th down and 3, and the Lions will have to kick.
Now, 3rd down and really long yardage, 3rd and 4. You kind of question the strategy there. You're going to put the ball in the air, and you might as well come out. You haven't been doing a very good job. Why not come out and put a little offense out there and give them some thrills anyway?
Mike Fuller drops back in a single safety spot. Up in front of him is Pete Shaw. Wilbur Summers back to punt for the first time on 4th down and 3 from his own 49-yard line. Here's the snap. The kick is up and away. A good one. They're going to let it go. Bounces around at the 5, and it's going to be down inside of the 10-yard line, grabbed there by one of the San Diego Chargers, who picks the ball up as it was bouncing around, gets back to the 10-yard line, and they'll have to start from their own 10. It was Pete Shaw. And so it'll be first down and 10 for San Diego at their own 10-yard line on that kick by Summers. And the Chargers will start 90 yards away. James Harris at quarterback. Rick Young and Don Woods in the running back spot. Dwight McDonald here to the left side and across the way. Charlie Joyner, 5'11", 188-pound, 9-year veteran from Grambling. The quarterback, James Harris. Harris off to Young, and Young off of right tackle is piled up around the 11-yard line, picking up just about a yard. Doug English spearheading the defense. Along that defensive line for Detroit, it is Ernie Price, Herb Orvis, Doug English, and John Woodcock. Woodcock is in there for Sanders, Price for Mitchell. And so with the ball at the 11-yard line, it is second down and 9 to go at the 11. Larry Dorsey now into the lineup at a wide receiver spot, and he is wide here to the left side. Across the way, Charlie Joyner. High formation in the backfield for James Harris. Harris grabs the ball, tosses it up this side to Don Woods. Woods coming wide, fumbles the ball, and there's a scramble for it. Still a scramble, and the San Diego Chargers have got it inside, I believe, of the 10. We'll have to wait and see. There's a big pileup. Don Woods fumbling as he hit the line of scrimmage. But the Chargers recover. Doug Wilkerson, the left guard, finally came up with the football. A loss on the play back to the 9-yard line. Loss of 2 makes it third down now and 11. San Diego at their own 9-yard line.
Barney coming up from that cornerback position, doing a fine job of turning it in and really popped the ball loose. Lumoff had a good shot at it, but he couldn't come up with the football.
All right, the Chargers go into a double wing this time. They set Ricky Young back. The other back across the way is Joe Washington. Young man from Oklahoma. A quick pass out to Washington over there, and he is hit as he gets it back just about to the line of scrimmage. And the Lion defense, that time spearheaded by Paul Lumoff, getting the job done. And in contrast to the offense, Mike, the defense is well received here at home, as they've been all year long, and I guess you could expect that. They've done the job all year long. It has been the offense that has been practically non-existent.
Well, that's certainly true. That Lion defense, even last week in Dallas, they lost 37-0, but they kept them in the game the first half and did a good job. And the first time San Diego has the ball, they've done a good job again.
Jeff West back to punt, and Eddie Payton back in the receiving spot, standing at his own 46-yard line. Jeff West will kick it from the end zone. The Lions have 10 men up front to rush, but he gets the kick away, a good one. Payton comes forward, grabs it on the fly at the 46-yard line of the San Diego Chargers, steps inside. He's at the 40. A flag goes down at the 30, 25, 20, and is hit and finally drops around the 17-yard line. But as we mentioned, there was a flag on the play.
That flag came awful late also. It looked like back around where Luther Blue was, but he was already past downfield, and if it is against, well, it is going to be against the Lions, no doubt about it. But Eddie Payton doing a good job again. It's going to be a clip called against the Lions, so the fine run by Eddie Payton is going to be nullified.
He took it at the 46 of San Diego all the way back to the 17 of San Diego, but a clipping penalty against the Lions will nullify it and bring it back. So he returned it 37 yards, all for nothing, Mike, because of the clip up there around the 43-yard line of San Diego. That'll move the ball back to the Detroit 47. And the Lions, with good field position, however, will have it first and 10 at their own. Now they move it back to the 42. They had it set down at the 47. And the referee, Jerry Markbury, saying who was responsible. And with the score 0-0, we pause a moment.
With the price of most things going up, Ford has a better idea. The price of Pinto, the best-selling American slow car, has come down. As of October 3rd, 78 model Pintos have more standard features at a lower sticker price than comparably equipped 77 models. Important features like AM radio, which you may delete for credit, power front disc brakes, rear window defroster, tinted glass, and protective side molding, all standard. Pinto is more car for less money, and you can order one right now. Here's another better idea. The sticker price of all Ford Mustang 2s has been substantially reduced. And the Fiesta, Ford's new little import from Germany that is already America's new success car. But maybe Ford's most exciting, better idea is the new Fairmont, with 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars, yet with a base figure price of a small car starting at just $35.89, excluding title taxes and destination charges. At Ford, the better ideas keep coming.
Back in the broadcast booth, the Lions will attempt to move it first and 10 from their own 42-yard line after that fine kick return of Eddie Payton was negated by the clipping penalty on the part of Luther Blue. So with the score 0-0, early here in the first period of play from the Silverdome, the Lions will try to move it at least on offense first and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Ray Jarvis out here wide to the right side. In the backfield, Horace King and Marv Hubbard. King with the ball to his left, looking for a block, doesn't find any. He's going to be run out of bounds at his own 35-yard line by Hal Springer. And once again, the value of that offensive line, Mike, extremely evident right there. Without any blocking at all, nobody moving anybody out of there. Horace had no place to go, just ran for the sidelines, and they ruled him out of bounds at his own 31.
And again, you have to kind of question the strategy, because if you're worried about the pass rush, why not throw on first down when they're worrying about the run, and it'll give you a little more time. Now it's second down and long. You've got to throw the football.
Second and 16 from the 36. Luther Blue, the only wide receiver. Marv Hubbard directly behind Landry. Horace King out to his left. Hubbard with the ball off the tackle, up over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Why don't they put the ball in the air? Woodrow Lowe finally making the stop on him at the 42. Just picked up the 6 yards, and we're getting a timeout for an injured player across the way. And Ray Jarvis comes in, and Luther Blue comes out of there. Tommy Prothro, the coach of the San Diego Chargers. You remember Mike was one time coach at UCLA and then with the Los Angeles Rams. So as they work on the injured player, when we get going, it'll be at the 42, and it'll be third down and 10 from that point.
Obviously, the strategy today is coming in from the sideline, because they're sending in the wide receivers on every play, and they wouldn't be changing them if they weren't calling the plays. And you wonder, why not put the ball in the air? What's the difference? You have nothing to lose. Let's go out and get after them, give the fans something to cheer about. You've got 73,000 people supposed to be here. You know, it's all part of it. It's your attitude. Woodrow Lowe, I believe, is the man that's down and gone out there. He's the linebacker from Alabama, fine outside linebacker in his second year. But right now, again, they're faced with that third and 10. As you said, they picked up the 6 yards that they lost on the previous play, and so now you know that the Chargers, who were second, I believe, in sacks in the league, they've got 28 coming into this game, certainly are going to have their ears back and going to be trying to get back and get to Landry.
Roy Preston has moved in there for Lowe at that left linebacker spot. He's a second-year veteran from Syracuse. 9 minutes and 17 seconds still left to play here in the first quarter, just underway, and there's no score here at the Silverdome. The American Conference San Diego Chargers and the Detroit Lions. Nice to have some friends in the booth with us here enjoying the ball game. Certainly hope they will enjoy it anyway. Don Cannon, the excellent athletic director at the University of Michigan, our guest here today, along with Mr. Tom Milliken and his son Terry, who are the Channel 56 auction winners of the day, and we're glad to have them here. Third and 10 at the 42 of Michigan. Michigan is talking about Cannon of the Lions. Landry back to throw, and a flag goes down. The pass is complete and then dropped at the 48-yard line, and a flag back there, as I mentioned. The intended receiver was David Hill. He had it in his hands, dropped it. A flag went down, and we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be holding, but John Lee, who's filling in for Leroy Jones, came in and he hit Landry, put a lot of pressure on him. It's probably one of the reasons they did not want to throw is Landry's been hit so many times. Number 73, so Russ. They've got a roughing the passer call.
So you got 2 penalties, one nullifying the other one. We'll have to do it all over again. Jarvis had gone in. Luther Blue comes in bringing the plays. Landry making sure that the crowd knows who are bringing in the plays, Mike, because he walks out of the huddle, takes the signal from the guy coming in. He don't want this crowd to know it's all his fault.
I don't blame him.
Go right.
I don't blame him.
Still third and 10 at the 42. This one having a little difficulty getting underway here outside of the fine runs of Eddie Payton on the kickoff and on the kick return. Third and 10, Detroit from their own 42. We'll see if we can get this one underway. David Hill wide to the left, and Landry is back to throw. He throws the screen over there at the 44-yard line to Horace King. King is finally dumped around midfield. Don Good and Hal Springer. It will not be enough, however, for the first down, short of a couple of yards, and so Wilbur Summers will have to kick again. Right at midfield, a gain of 8 brings up a 4th down and 2.
And again, the pattern that they're using there was just a short little delay coming over the middle, and it's unusual that will pick up 10 yards on 3rd down. So, again, the strategy isn't what you would call aggressive.
Mike Fuller and Pete Shaw drop back to receive. The second punt, Fuller is deep, Shaw up about the 25-yard line. Summers' first kick was a dandy. Gets this one away, booms it. They chase it over the sidelines. It bounces around at the 10 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. 52 yards on the kick. And the San Diego Chargers with a timeout on the field will start from their 1st and 10 at the 20. Clock is stopped, as I mentioned. The score, San Diego nothing, Detroit nothing.
J.P. McCarthy's Focus. 12:15 to 1 afternoons on WJR.
Steve Allen.
I've worked on a showboat once before in Lowell, Michigan.
Yeah.
They told me if I was a hit there, it could mean Chesney. So I had to come back and pay that off. I mean, no, it's a great pleasure to do it. I like showboats.
Please help me welcome the very lovely Arlen Vidal.
That's why when people say, what do you think of women's lib, and have you never felt put upon? I said no, because I was in an industry where men and women were judged according to their personality and their talent.
Polenka. Thank you. For sure, I failed in a lot of things, but I realized that I'm young and you make mistakes, and I think that from the failures, a lot of good comes out of them.
J.P. McCarthy's Focus. 12:15 to 1 afternoons on WJR.
Bob Reynolds, along with Mike Lucci, all set to go. San Diego 1st and 10 to their own 20-yard line. Dwight McDonald comes wide here to the left side. Eddie Payton in the slot. Joe Washington, now he shifts back, along with Harris and Bo Matthews. James Harris back into the pocket to throw. Pretty good protection. The rush is on. He throws it down the middle, and it is caught at the 34-yard line by the tight end, Bob Klein. And he's hit immediately. At the 36. It's a first down. 16 yards on the play. San Diego 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Nice to have my dad in the broadcast booth with us here today, enjoying the ball game here, 91 years young. And as sharp as you and I, Mike, and sharper maybe.
I was going to say, maybe.
1st and 10 at the 36. Joyner wide here to the left side. In the slot is Washington, and Joyner goes in motion across the way. Back goes Harris to throw. Plenty of time. Now he's going to have to hurry, and he's going to be sacked back there at the 30-yard line. Herbie Orvis, the number 1 man in there. Got some help from Price. Doug English. Sack at the 30. A loss of 6, second down, and 16. And Mike, the San Diego Charger defense has been more than adequate all season long, and their record of 4-3. But they've had trouble with their offense as well, getting any sustained offense from the club. Hopefully trying to put it together before the season has completely gone down the drain. Rick Young in there with Joe Washington now from a regular pro step, second down and 16 at the 30-yard line. 2 wide receivers. Harris on the draw play, gives it off to Young, and Young busts his way up to the 40-yard line before he's brought down by James Hunter. And Dick Duran at the 40. Gain of 10. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Just a little draw that time. The middle linebacker, O'Neill, sliding to the outside fairly quickly and took it up the middle for the yardage. Jim Loswick checking in. Herb Orvis coming out. The Lions going to their 34 defense.
Joyner wide on this side. The backfield, Rick Young and Joe Washington. Across the way, Larry Dorsey. The handoff into this time to Washington over right tackle. Gets it up to about his own 42 or 43. That's all. The Lion defense again. Equal to the task. Doug English making the stop along with Eddie O'Neill. And so with the ball at the 43, gain of only 3, it's 4th down and 3. 6:10 to go, the clock running here in the first period, and no score. Back to do the punting, Jeff West. This will be his second punt. Little Eddie Payton back there, 5'8", 183 with good speed. He doesn't get killed before the season is over. Lions have 10 men up in an attempt to block it. West gets it away, however. And Peyton takes a look, and he's going to grab it on the fly at his own 8-yard line, and he's going to be dropped at the 10. That was a case, Mike, where you just had to take a chance. Do I catch it, or do I have it possibly down within the 5-yard line, or maybe I take a chance it goes into the end zone? You just, you gamble.
It was borderline. Jeff West, the punter, hit it just super. He was in the air over almost 4.5 seconds and really did a fine job with that punt. What the score? Detroit nothing, San Diego nothing. We pause for a moment.
You're looking for quality, there are few if any other. Try us once and you'll discover the best is fate will bring us to you. That blue ribbon quality always comes through.
Pabst has a challenge for you. To taste and compare Pabst Blue Ribbon with any other premium beer. You'll never go back to the beer you were drinking, because Blue Ribbon quality means the best tasting beer you can get.
The best is fate will bring us to you. With that blue ribbon, the quality always comes through.
Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Back into the action now. Lions ball, first down and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Hubbard and King in the backfield. Off to Hubbard this time. No place to run. And he's going to be dumped just about at the line of scrimmage. That's all. Is there to make the stop? Freddie Dean. Once again, that offensive line, Mike, just not moving any way out of there at the 12-yard line to give him a yard to make it second down and 9 to go.
Well, it's a little difficult when Chargers sitting there waiting for him to run the football and believing you're not going to throw it. So it's just, I'd like to see him put the ball in the air a little more.
Both tight ends in there, Sanders and David Hill. Across the way, Luther Blue. I formation to the backfield now. Hubbard directly behind Landry. And here is the quick toss out to Horace King. Off the tackle, gets a little running room. Up to the 16 with it, and down he goes there. Tom Graham, the first man in on the tackle. Speaking of people here enjoying the ball game, nice to have an old friend of mine in the booth, A.P. McCarthy. Joe, nice to see you. Have you here? At the 17, gain of 5. It is third down and 4 now. So far, the Lions haven't been able to convert on these third downs in 1 out of 2. See what happens here. 3rd and 4 at their own 17-yard line. One wide receiver. Landry giving the ball off again to Horace King. He gets it to the 20. Picking up 3 yards, and it's 4th and a yard. John Lee making the start defensively at left end for Leroy Jones of the San Diego Chargers in to make the stop. Well, they gave Bill Ford the game plan here today. I wonder how he likes it so far.
Well, I don't know how he likes it, but I don't like it very much. They wonder that you've got to get that ball in the air and loosen them up, because right now that San Diego team feels, well, they're not going to throw the football. We'll just dig in and take care of them right at the line of scrimmage.
Mike Fuller back in the safety spot. Up front around the Detroit 45 is Petey Shaw. 3rd punt for Wilbur Summers. There's the snap, and he gets a good one. Here's his kick. Fuller back at the 40, and he's hit immediately. Rick Kane.
Rick Kane coming down. He evaded the block. As soon as he caught it, he didn't fair catch it, and he stuck him, so it gave the crowd something to cheer about.
Mr. Fuller, and the ball arrived at the same time that Rick Kane did. And down he went at his own 40. So the Chargers at least up at their own 40-yard line to start, and they'll go with Rick Young and Joe Washington. Across the way, Joyner, and in the slot, McDonald. James Harris from the I formation. Woods is the fullback. The ball is pitched off to Washington. Washington going to the outside. A big hole. Slips and falls at his own 49. Joe Washington, who played some great football at Oklahoma. Good speed. Slipped at the 49-yard line. And down he goes there. A gain of 9. 2nd down and a yard to go for first down.
That was a quick toss that time. Newmoff coming up, trying to contain it. Woodcock got hooked inside and had plenty of running room. And Washington, had he not slipped down, it looked like he could have picked up a little more yardage.
Bo Matthews and Washington in the backfield. Joyner wide here to the left side. Now they shift him into a pro left. Joyner moves in just a little bit. Across the way. Dorsey. Ball handed off this time to Matthews and up the middle into Detroit territory down to the Detroit 43. First down, San Diego.
Bo Matthews, 6'4", 230, running with authority, coming up, breaking it back over the middle, and doing a good job of picking up the yardage for the first down.
First and 10 for the San Diego Chargers at the 43. Sorry, Joe, it's at the 43. Inside of the 44. McDonald wide across the way. Charlie Joyner on this side. I formation in the backfield. Now they shift into a power left, and now they shift into a regular pro set. Rick Youngs and Joe Washington in the backfield. And James Harris back to throw. A little swing pass up the 50-yard line to Washington. Washington gets it back to the Detroit 41. As he went by, Eddie O'Neill reached out and grabbed him. So there is a gain on the play. As they put it now at the 41 of only 2. Second down and 8.
A couple of early scores. Dallas is in front of the New York Giants 7-0, and Cleveland giving up a touchdown early to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's leading Cleveland 7-0 in the first period.
Matthews and Washington in the backfield. Second down, almost 8 yards to go for the first down. The ball at the 41 of Detroit. From the eye, the quick toss out to Washington. Washington trying to go wide. Gets down to the 40-yard line, and there's a flag on the play. Picked up just about a yard. James Hunter was over there along with Paul Dumoff, and here's a call. Holding against San Diego. That'll help. Let's take 15 seconds for station identification. This is the Detroit Lions Football Network.
Mike Ward's Kaleidoscope and Adventures in Good Music with...
The Lions, the official stepping off the penalty, and it'll make it second down and about, 18 yards. So that'll put them in a passing situation. The Lions bringing Jim Losseth again, taking out Doug English. They're in their 34. Normally when they're in their 34 defense, they'll end up bringing one of their linebackers. That holding call was against Doug Wilkerson.
Second and 18 for San Diego, their own 49-yard line. Young and Washington in the backfield of the regular pro set. Joyner is split along with McDonald. Back goes Harris to throw. Fires it down here, and it is caught beautifully. And down at the 35-yard line goes Rick Young out of the backfield, the fullback.
And Harris poured that one. Newmoff had a shot. He put it in between 3 defenders just perfectly and just completed the pass. Newmoff having a shot at it, just couldn't get there.
Picked up almost the 18 yards. It's so close that we're going to have a measurement. Mike, we've got 1 minute and 7 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first quarter with no score. The San Diego Chargers of the American Conference and the Detroit Lions. The only other American Conference club that the Lions meet will be Baltimore.
And so far on the year, the AFC is 8-0 against the NFC, and Tommy Prothro told the Chargers, let's not be the first one. I talked to Bill Munson last night, and he said, let's not start it off for him.
First down at 10. San Diego, they are at the Detroit 33. Ball is inside the 34, so it has to be the 33. First and 10 for them. Young and Washington in the backfield. Dorsey and Joyner, the wide receivers, both here to the left side. From the eye, the quick toss out to Washington, coming to his left this time, trying to turn the corner, and is run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. No gain whatsoever. A lot of running, but no gain.
O'Neill coming through for the middle linebacker position, forced them outside. Price doing a good job. Barney coming up off the corner and played the play perfectly. The Lions defense, as we said before, has been playing good football the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's the Lion offense that's been the problem.
Got a yard, Mike. They move it at 31, so it is second and 9 at the 32. Young and Woods in the backfield now. Dwight McDonald wide across the way. Charlie Joyner, wide receiver on this side. Charlie's not very big, 5'11", 188 pounds from Grambling. Woods and Young in the backfield, and James Harris, the quarterback, back to throw. At the 40, he's being chased, and Weaver rips him down. Charlie Weaver. That's the second sack on Harris. Charlie Weaver grabbing him by the jersey, swinging him around, and dumping him back at the Detroit 44.
And the Lions, as they do many times, bringing one linebacker, and Weaver, with that great quickness and speed, just outmaneuvered the blocker, came around him, and made the sack.
So it brings up a third and 21 at the 44. Woods goes out of there now. So does Bob Klein. Dorsey is in there wide across the way. Joyner over this side. Washington and Young's in the backfield. We've only got 17 seconds left here at the end of the first period. There is no score. James Harris is quarterback on 3rd and 21. Looking for somebody going long and deep. He's got a man there, but it's tipped away by Barney. Beautiful defensive play by Lem Barney, who just reached up with that experience that he has. Batted it away. With his left hand, it goes incomplete. It was intended for McDowell.
Lions had 5 defensive backs in that time. Barney coming from his cornerback position all the way across the field, as Bob said, making an excellent play. Coming across and just tipping it away. Had he been able to get there about a split second sooner, he probably could have came up with the interception.
4th and 21. Only 4 seconds on the clock before the end of the first period. And back to do the punting is Jeff West. Eddie Payton back in the safety spot at his 10-yard line. Lions 10 men up front. Trying to put a little pressure on the kicker. He gets it away, angling it for the sideline. And West grabs it at the 9, but he steps out of bounds at the 12. And that's all the time on the clock. There's the gun. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. San Diego nothing and the Lions nothing.
All of the good sports.
Mike Lucci along with Bob Reynolds waiting for the start of the second period. We have no score in the game so far. There hasn't been a lot of offense on either team's part. The defense has played brilliantly. Again, the Lion defense rising to the occasion, doing a good job. They've held them in, they've sacked the quarterback twice, and kept San Diego out of that end zone. Of course, the San Diego Chargers have done the same thing. James Harris, who threw that pass, really has a strong arm. Many years he was talked about that he was going to be just an outstanding quarterback. And from time to time, he showed signs of brilliance, but he's been very erratic. He's 6'4", 217. He's been around 8 years. He's from Grambling. Last week, he ran it in when his time ran out on the clock. He took it into the end zone to beat the Miami Dolphins.
Ricky Kane back in the backfield now, along with Horace King. First and 10, Detroit to their own 12-yard line. Jarvis across the way, the only wide receiver. The Lions moving from my right to my left as we look down here from the broadcast booth. Landry handing it off this time to Horace King. He doesn't get very far. Hal Springer taking the stop on him. Got about a yard, that's all.
You hear a few boos, and I don't blame him. I'm going to start booing if they don't throw the ball on first down. Luther Blues checking in. Again, he's bringing the plays in from the bench. Landry, as Bob said earlier, steps out and lends an ear and gets into the huddle and calls the play.
Gain of a yard on it, second down and 9 at the 13. From the I formation originally now, Landry has his fullbacks, Ricky Kane and Horace King, in a line. One wide receiver across the way. Horace Blue, and here's the quick toss out to Rick Kane. Kane cutting back in, gets it to the 15 for only 2 more, and it's 3rd and 7 for Detroit from their own 15-yard line, and I don't know. Jarvis checking into the lineup now with another play. Landry leans over and says, okay, we'll try this one, see what happens.
We should have asked for one of the game plans. They gave one to Mr. Ford, and I'd like to take a look at it. I wonder if they have any passes on that game plan.
He's got a right to have a look at the game plan. He owns the club, you and I. 3rd and 7, he's got to put it in the air here. By the regular pro set, 2 wide receivers. Landry, a quick toss over the middle to Charlie Sanders at the 20. He's hit and dropped. He'll be short of a first down by 2 yards, and they'll have to kick again. Mike Fuller in there to make the stop. Well, they mark it to the 21. He's still short of a first down by a yard. And the crowd lets the offense know what they think of it.
Got to be discouraging to be at home in the beautiful Silverdome, 70-some thousand people, and every time you do something on the field, you get booed. I guess sometimes you deserve it, sometimes you don't.
Well, as I mentioned before, Mike, it's a shame they boo the whole team when the whole team isn't responsible. Fuller back in the deep spot, shores up tight. Here's Summers' boot. Gets it away, and a flag goes down. Here's the ball. Fuller at the 45, looking for some place to run. Dumped at his own 48. So the line judge says, hang on to those chains down there at the 12-yard line because we got a flag on it. We'll wait and see. Fuller bringing it back to his own 48-yard line before the tackle was made. We got a flag down, as I mentioned. We'll see what this is all about, Mike. Looks like it's that. What's that, blocking below the knees? That's the first time I've seen that signal, and I believe that's what it is.
It's against San Diego.
It's San Diego. It'll be a first down, of course, for the Lions, and they'll retain possession of the football. I think that's what it is. We'll wait, see if we can hear him. First and 10 for Detroit at the 26-yard line after the penalty.
They called it an illegal block, so
That's what I mentioned, below the knees. First time I've seen that this year, Mike. First time I've seen it called.
first right.
Ray Jarvis, wide hit to the left side. Lions ball, first and 10 from their own 26-yard line. They got a break there. Instead of having to kick it away, they got it back from the I formation. Here is Landry, handing it off to Kane. Kane gets it up for a yard to the 27. That's all, and the crowd starts to boo again. In on the tackle, Gary Johnson. And Chuck DeJournay.
When you talk about the no-name defense from Miami, when you look over at the San Diego Charger defense, they're really no names, but, it's just that you don't see them very often, and they have some fine football players on it.
Luther Blue across the way. David Hill split out a little bit on the left side here. Throw, power, left with the two backs in there. Handoff and a fake, and Landry's back to throw. Whips it over here at the 30 to Rick Kane. Kane is at the 35 and up to the 39-yard line with it, and they get a first down, and the crowd appreciates it.
Listen to the cheers. I think that's all it takes. And the scoreboard says another first down. Which is the second one.
First and 10, Detroit at their own 39-yard line. 13 yards on the little swing pass out to Ricky Kane coming out of the backfield. Kane and Horace King from the I formation. They send Ray Jarvis out here wide to the left below it. First and 10, Detroit at their own 39-yard line. No score early here in the second period. Greg Landry with the ball. A quick toss off to Rick Kane. Trying to go wide. Doesn't find much blocking. Cuts inside. Gets it over his own 45 to his 46. Horace King tried to throw a block for him. And the young man, Mike Williams, sliding off the block very well. But Kane got it at least to his 46.
And you have to like that man. He really is a player. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, a rookie from San Jose State, and he gives 100% on the special teams and on the field when he's running the football.
Got 7 yards on the play, second down, and 3 at the 46-yard line of Detroit. Luther Blue, wide here to the left side. David Hill set out on the right, just a little bit outside of the tackle. Throw set of the backfield, a fake to Kane, and Landry rolls to his right. Fires it down there, tipped away. John Good tipped it away. It was intended for David Hill. Incomplete. 3rd and 3 at the 46.
Little play action pass that time. The linebacker reading it very well, dropping off. He had got his hands on the football. Could have came up with the interception.
Mike, if we don't pick up the first down here, the Lions, you're going to hear this crowd. 3rd and 3 at their own 46-yard line. 2 first downs so far.
Scoreboard just flashed. Buffalo 14, New England nothing.
Oh, my goodness. Ray Jarvis on the short side of the field, the only wide receiver from the I formation. From the I formation, Landry at quarterback. Kane and King. Off to Rick. Kane gets it to midfield, and it'll be a first down, Detroit. Making the stop on him, Fred Dean. As Mike said, the defense of the San Diego Chargers not very familiar to Lion fans. They don't get a chance to see this club very often. Leroy Jones, Louis Kelcher normally at left end and left tackle. The crowd gets a kick because the flash sign up there, another first down, and going for more. First and 10. The Lions at midfield. 1 wide receiver. Luther Blue across the way. Here's Landry handing it off to Hubbard. Hubbard off of his own left tackle gets a couple down to about the 48 before Woodrow Lowe brings him down. Lowe is the left linebacker. Tom Graham in the middle. Don Good at the right side. Mike Williams, the left corner. Hal String at the right corner. Mike Fuller at the strong safety. And Charlie Duran at the free safety. And I dare say that 98% of you haven't heard much of those names. Second down and 8 to go at the 48-yard line. Hubbard and King in the backfield now. Going wide across the way, Ray Jarvis. From the I formation, Hubbard up close. King back. Both the tight ends in there. Jarvis comes in for a block, a fake, and Landry is back to throw again, going for Hill deep. And Hill does not make the catch. Said he trapped the ball. Stringett was there with him all the way, so it goes incomplete, brings up a third down and 8 at the 48 of the San Diego Chargers with no score.
A little play action pass, and again, that time the line did a good job. Landry threw the ball pretty well, but as you said, Stringett was right there. He just covered it perfectly, and he had David Hill covered all the way.
Hill comes out of the lineup now. Luther Blue has gone back in. Charlie Sanders is in there. 3rd and 8 up the 48. The Lions need a big one here. Luther Blue wide across the way. Jarvis on this side. Throws set in the backfield, and Landry at quarterback calls the signal. Drops back into the pocket. He's going to have to hurry. Rolls out of it now. He's got some running room. Throws it quickly at the 47 to Horace King. King is down to the 30, 25, inside the 20, and down to the 18. And the crowd finally has something to yell about offensively. It's a first down at the 18-yard line. Landry actually might get plenty of time and plenty of room to run himself, but he spotted Horace King, who has considerably more speed than he does, just flipped it out to him, and King took it down to the 18-yard line.
That was a good play by Landry, and King picking up 30 yards on the play.
The ball is at the 18. 30 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Jarvis wide to the left side. Landry hanging off to Hubbard. Hubbard going to the outside. Can't find him. Is dropped there by Freddie Dean. Number 71, the defensive right end. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. No gain on the play. 2nd down, still 10 from the 18-yard line. While we have an opportunity, we, as usual on these Sundays, offer our congratulations to the college teams in the area for a great afternoon. Michigan State coming up with a victory at Minnesota, and the University of Michigan and Bo Schembechler having a lapper up at Ann Arbor against helpless Northwestern. 2 big ones coming up for both clubs. 2nd and 10 at the 18 for Detroit, I formation. Luther Blue wide to the left. The ball handed off to Ricky Kane. Off the tackle inside the 15 to the 14. And Tom Graham makes the stop on him there. Gain of 4 on the play. It's 3rd down and 6. We got an injured player. Looks like Lynn Bodine is hurt. And the trainer, along with Dr. Guys, go out onto the field. Lynn Bodine. Getting ready to go in is Gary Anderson, and now he trots in there. He'll take Bodine's place.
That'll give Landry a little more confidence when Mr. Anderson checks in. He hasn't played very much, and really untested. He really hasn't played anything at all. Miami's leading the New York Jets 7-3 in the second period. As we said earlier, Buffalo over New England so far in the first period, 14-0. Dallas leading the Giants 7-0, and Cincinnati leading Cleveland 7-0. And right here, it's 0-0, Chargers and the Detroit Lions.
7:54 remaining in the first half. Bodine is being helped to his feet. Whether it's a knee or an ankle or what, but Anderson has gone in to take his place. And so when we get ready to play again, it'll be 3rd down and 6 to go. Detroit's ball at the 16-yard line of the San Diego Chargers with no score here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. One of those days where we're extremely delighted that we're playing inside.
No doubt about that. Plenty of rain outside, but inside everybody's nice and dry. I'm sure they're having a few hot toddies or cold toddies and pretty much having a good time. And if the Lions can get into that end zone and get a score on the board, I'm sure everybody will like it a lot more.
Lions are on the road next week. They come home for 2 games in less than a week when they play Tampa Bay November 20th, and the Bears, of course, 4 days later on Thanksgiving. Good seats in all locations on sale for them tomorrow. Here it is 3rd and 6 at the 14. A big one for the Lions, and Landry isn't quite sure, and he goes over and calls the timeout. So the clock is stopped on the field. With the score, San Diego nothing and the Lions nothing.
Again, Landry a little unsure of what was called. Many times when the play comes in for the bench, they'll get it turned around, or they just won't get it just exactly right, and you'll just be a little confusion. Rather than risk getting a penalty on 3rd and 6 at the 14-yard line, they'd rather go ahead and call the timeout. So the Lions using the second of their 3 timeouts here in the first half. If it comes down to right at before the half, they're only going to have 1 timeout to stop the clock. But right now they're not concerned about that because they want to call the right play to try to pick up the 6 yards or the 14 yards for the touchdown. It's really a fine crowd today. They expected, 73,000. Looks like there should be somewhere around 70,000. Certainly the Lions, who the last 2 weeks lose 28-7 to San Francisco, 37-0 to Dallas, so they need a victory. They certainly are not out of this wild card situation, so right now they'd like to come up with a score and get it started. .7:33 to go in the second period. 3rd down, 6, 14-yard line. Landry talking to the players in the huddle, getting ready to call the play.
somewhat conservative so far. The big play coming with Landry being forced out of the pocket, dumped the ball to Horace King. Horace King picking up 30 yards, taking it down to the 18-yard line. On first down, Marv Hubbard didn't pick up any yardage. Rick Kane picked up 4 on second down, and right now we're on third down. New England just scored. Buffalo's ahead of New England 14-7 in the second period. All right, here it is 3rd and 6. Detroit at the 14 of San Diego. Luther Blue, wide here to the left side. Landry has the power left with Kane and King in there. Drake taking his time, grabs the ball. Takes, gives it off on a reverse. This time to David Hill. Hill is at the 15, hauled down at the 14-yard line by Woodrow Lowe. The left linebacker slid out there with the flow of the play and made a good one. He played it perfectly. They had a reverse on it, just coming around. Lowe was staying home, doing his job, and he just played it just perfectly and made the tackle. No gain on the play. They had it 1st and 10 at the 18. They wind up 4th and 6 at the 14. And we'll get a field goal attempt here from Mickemeyer. Steve Mickemeyer, with 7:01 to play, will kick it from the 22. A 32-yard field goal attempt for Steve Mickemeyer. Waiting for the snap. There it is. Placed down. The kick is up. And it is wide of the upright. Gary Danielson was holding. You can hear the crowd. I don't have to tell you the disappointment that it registered. And as Mike and I have said many times, really it's frustration on the part of the fans. They want so much to have this club win. So it's 1st and 10 San Diego at their own 20-yard line. Rick Young and Don Woods in the backfield from a pro power left. McDonald and Joyner, the wide receivers. Wood now goes in the I formation behind Ricky Young. Offside. San Diego Chargers Bob Klein, the tight end. A little over-anxious.
Bob Klein, the former tight end for the Los Angeles Rams. We played against him many times, and he's always, Wayne Walker used to call him the toughest tight end, blocking-wise, that he's ever played against. And he is a fine blocker. And as Bob said, he was a little over-anxious, came off and hit Paul Newmoff, so it's a good way to pick up 5 yards for the defense.
1st and 15 now, back at the 15-yard line. San Diego substitutes a couple of guys after each play. Dorsey coming in and Washington coming into the backfield. So it's Washington and Rick Young in there now from the I. Dorsey wide here to the left side. Joyner across the way for James Harris on a 1st and 15. The handoff to Washington. Off the tackle, the 25, the 30. Caught from behind, and a good thing. He got it all the way up to his own 33-yard line before Charlie West came in to make the stop on it. Give that guy a little room. He knows where to go.
He's got great speed. It was just a little quick trap up the middle, picking up 18 yards. And when he broke it out in the open, as you said, if Charlie West had caught him from behind, he certainly would have picked up a few more yards.
So it is 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line for the San Diego Chargers. Their own 33. Still no score in this one. McDonald comes wide here to the right side of across the way, little Charlie Joyner. One step back, they got a double wing. That is Young's back there, and back goes Harris to throw. The Lions have got the rush on. He throws it quickly, and is caught by Joyner at the 47, and he finally hauled down at the Detroit 43 by Lem Barney. They had him caught back there, Mike, but he pulled away from the defensive man and got it all the way down to the Detroit 43 before he was hauled out.
Dick Duran had a chance at that football. He went after it, didn't come up with it. Joyner caught it, and Barney finally made a tackle. They picked up 24, so the first down he got 18. Picked up a first down, came back on first down. He threw the football again, picking up 24. So the Chargers are on the move.
So they put it at the 44-yard line of Detroit. First down and 10. Young has gone out of there now in the backfield. Matthews is in there. Matthews along with Washington. And here's the ball to Matthews. Up the middle, off the tackle, finds the hole, gets to the Detroit 36 before he's hauled down. Making the stop on him there, Dick Duran coming up along with Doug English.
And as we see many times, when the team moves down the field, misses the opportunity to score, the defense goes in and just doesn't seem to do as good a job, and the other team gets a little confidence from the missed field goal or missed touchdown and end up moving the ball down the field, and that's what's happening right now.
McDonald comes back into the lineup. Throw the ball at the 36. It is second down. A couple of yards to go. Harris on the draw. Getting it off to Washington. To Young. Rick Young gets it to the 35, and Herbie Orvis is there first. Makes the stop on him there. Gain of just a yard. 3rd and 1 for San Diego at Detroit 35 with no score in the ball game. Coming into the lineup now, John Mazik at right guard. Larry Hand has gone in defensively. They take out Paul Newmoff. 3rd and a yard at the 35 of Detroit. Clarence Williams and Bo Matthews in the backfield, and they shift to a power left with Matthews directly behind the quarterback, Harris. And it is to Matthews. Bo is hit, and it will be very close, but I do not think he made it. I think he's a little short, Mike.
It looks like it. Woodcock's trying to pull him back there after he hit the ground, but it's going to be very close.
He didn't make it. Right at the line of scrimmage. They're leaving the ball right there at the 35, so it is 4th and a yard. The Lion defense doing a fine job right there. Matthews goes out of there now. Bob Klein is in.
San Diego getting ready to go for it, and rightfully so. They're down close to that 33-yard line, so...
All right, 4th of the yard, and they're going to go. Ball handed off this time to Williams, but I don't think he got it.
Weaver was one of them. Weaver, Charlie West, bottom of the pile. They stopped him. They turned it over. The Lion defense doing their job. The scoreboard says Lion defense number 1. They've certainly played pretty well these last few weeks.
That was a big one right there. 4th and 1 at the 35, and they hold them. So the Lions take over. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. 3 minutes and 34 seconds left to play here. And with the score, San Diego nothing, Detroit nothing, we pause a moment.
For 1978, Ford introduces the Fairmont wagon, the Ford in your future. The new Fairmont wagon is designed for today and the years ahead with this surprising combination of qualities. Trim outside and easy on gas, yet it's roomy inside. Stylish, yet it doesn't cost a lot. Fairmont wagon has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons based on the EPA Interior Volume Index. Yet for all its room, Fairmont wagon's EPA mileage estimates are 29 miles per gallon highway, 19 cities, with available 3.3-liter engine and manual transmission. Your actual mileage may vary. That's an excellent mileage rating for any wagon with this much room. Yet for all this, the Fairmont wagon is actually sticker priced less than the little VW Rabbit 4-door. Is it the Ford in your future? Test drive the Fairmont wagon. Find out for yourself. Fairmont. The newest, better idea from the Wagon Master.
Back into the action now. 1st down and 10, Detroit at their own 35-yard line. 3:34 remaining in the first half, and there's no score. 2 wide receivers. Jarvis to the left side. The ball handed off to Horace King. Up to his own 38 or 39 before he's brought down. And making the stop on him, Freddie Dean along with Woodrow Lowe at the 38. 2nd down and 7. Pick up a 3 on the play.
The way we're going right now, who knows how long we're going to be here.
Yeah, we may be here the first sudden death that goes forever. Luther Blue wide to the left side. Tight end split out a little bit on the far side. Pro set in the backfield. Ricky King with the ball. Came to the outside, inside of his tackle on the right side. Gets it to the 43-yard line of Detroit. Stripped up by Williams as he went by at the 43.
You know, some players...
5, and it's 3rd and 2.
Some players have the ability to make things happen, and he seems to be one of those. He just, when he gets the football, he does something with it. He always ends up picking up a couple extra yards.
He's always moving forward, Mike, isn't he?
No doubt about that.
Kane and Horace King in the backfield. Luther Blue is out of there. Both tight ends are in close now. On 3rd and 2 from their own 43, the ball to Kane. He's got nowhere to go. The defense is in there. They drop him for the loss at the 41. Once again, if your offensive line doesn't keep him out of there, trouble.
He had no chance that time. They stuffed him backwards. They took Hertwig and shoved him back into the pile, and Lee ended up making a tackle, but they had a blitz on, but the offensive line, as you said, just did not do the job at all that time.
Loss of 2, it's 4th and 4 now. 2 minutes left here. There's the 2-minute warning. The clock is stopped on the field. With the score, Zipperino to nothing.
Yeah, the Lions unable to sustain any kind of drive here in this first half, and obviously the one chance they did have, Steve Mickemeyer missed the field goal, so they haven't been unable to score. The Chargers have not been close at all this first half. The Lion defense rising to the occasion. The one time they did get some penetration on 4th down, they came in and stopped and turned the football back over to the Lions. So it's been a defensive ball game that started out the people booing, but right now they've been somewhat subdued, and a few times they've had the opportunity to cheer. They certainly come on and gave the Lions a big hand and been behind them. So the Lions fans here have not seen a lot of offense, but on the other hand, they haven't seen any offense from San Diego either. You might have to turn them over to the scoreboard here and let them listen to the commercials as they go along. As we talked many times before, it's unusual to sit there and listen to the commercials on the scoreboard. Two minutes to go in the second period. San Diego nothing, Detroit nothing. So it hasn't been a whole lot to write home about so far, but we're hoping right now. Lions getting ready to kick the ball away.
Wonder how Bobby Lane feels down there. Mike, he had a chance to visit with him.
I can imagine what he's saying right about now. I heard him last night. They said I had a bad voice. I'll tell you what, I heard him sing last night. His voice is just as bad as mine.
Mike Fuller back into these spots for the punt of Summers. He gets it away on 4th and 4 from the 41. Summers at his own 17. Fuller, and he's up at the 22.
I think he tripped over the yard marker that time, but whatever. He went down, and he's at the 22-yard line. It'll be San Diego's football with 1:50 to go here in the second period. The Lion defense, you wouldn't say, you'd have to say they've been earning their pay the last few weeks. They've spent a lot of time on the field.
So the defense back out there again. 1st and 10 for the San Diego Chargers at their own 22. Rick Youngs and Joe Washington in the backfield. Charlie Joyner, the wide receiver, across the way, and Dorsey on this side, or rather McDonald. One setback now. They hit the Washington back alongside of the fullback. James Harris at quarterback, 1st and 10 from the 22. The handoff in there to Youngs, and Rick gets his way all the way up to his own 29-yard line. Irby Orvis in there to make the tackle. Charlie West coming up from the secondary, along with Paul Dumoff, also getting a hand on it at the 29-yard line. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Charlie Joyner wide across the way. On this side, Dorsey. Larry Dorsey from Tennessee State in there at the wide receiver spot. Washington and Young in the backfield. And here is Harris dropping back to throw. He's going to have to hurry. Fires it out here now, and it is caught. Nope, trapped, they say, at the 34. It's intended for Rick Young coming out of the backfield. Weaver made a good defensive play, penetrating the protection of Harris.
He slapped at the football. It looked like he made Harris juggle it, but of course Harris 6'4", 220. It takes more than an arm to pull him down, and he got the football away, almost completing the pass.
So Dorsey goes out of there. McDonald comes in now. That's the change at wide receiver. A minute and 7 to go here in the first half. Will be all over, folks. 3rd down and 3 at the 29. The San Diego 29. McDonald wide here to the right side. Young and Washington in the backfield from the I formation. Harris at quarterback. The pitch is out to Washington, coming to his right, and is down at the 34 by Charlie West. Gain of only 5, but it's a first down. And they're getting a timeout for San Diego. And so, with the score 0-0, we pause another moment.
On-Decker beer. You may not be drinking it now, but you will. On-Decker. You may not think a beer this expensive could be worth the extra money, but you will. On-Decker, brewed with a special rich malt, flavored with the finest of imported choice hops, patiently, properly aged. You don't know what a difference that makes, but you will. On-Decker, the most expensive tasting beer. If you're not drinking it now, you will. On-Decker, the most expensive tasting beer.
Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
.57 seconds. The Chargers picking up a first down, have the ball on their own 34-yard line, hoping to move down the field and get in position, at least kick a field goal.
1st and 10 for them. McDonald wide here to the right side. Joyner across the way in the backfield. Young and Washington. Rick Young and Joe Washington. Harris back to throw. Fakes and rolls out to his right. Throws a screen at the 25 to Washington. Washington's at the 30. Steps out of bounds at his own 33. So there's actually a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Chargers at their own 33.
It was a double screen. He faked it to one side, brought it back, got Washington out on the opposite side. Woodcock doing a fine job. He actually looked like he got clipped, but he forced him back. Doug English coming over, running him out of bounds.
Dorsey comes in, and McDonald goes out of there. Joyner comes over as the wide receiver on this side, and in the slot is Washington, and across the way, Dorsey. On 2nd and 11 from the San Diego 33-yard line. James Harris back in the pocket to throw. down the middle, and it is almost intercepted by Weaver, who made a flying leap for it. It was intended for Dorsey, and Weaver made a good play.
He's been making them right along. He's really come a long way. The former SC player came up, had great speed. They didn't pick it up too quickly, but he has in the last couple of years. He's been an outstanding linebacker for the Detroit Lions.
I didn't know he could jump that high. He went way up in the air that time.
He's a great athlete. Larry Hand just checked in. Herb Orvis came out, so it'll change the defensive line.
3rd and 11 at the 33. 43 seconds left. McDonald in here and split wide on the right side. Across the way, Charlie Joyner. Pinckney is in there defensively, moving up. Newmoff has come out of there, so they got an extra defensive back in there. And here's the handoff to Washington. Coming to his right, following his blockers. Cuts inside and is at the 45, still on his feet, and gets it up to his own 48-yard line before Eddie O'Neill brings him down.
Weaver took a real shot at him. Knocked Washington, spun him all the way around. Washington doing a good job of keeping his feet. Eddie O'Neill finally coming over along with Charlie West.
San Diego calls timeout with 32 seconds left to play. They'll have a first down from their own 48-yard line.
Charlie West moving around pretty good. He seems to have made a fine recovery from that foot injury that he had last week. So he's moving around pretty good. And
maybe he had a satisfactory talk this week with the general manager. I don't know, huh?
That could be. That could very well be. Anyway, the Lion defense trying to hold him in. 32 seconds to go here in the first half. No score in the game so far. San Diego Chargers that we talked about earlier. Many names that we don't see very often or don't get them on TV too much around here either. Rick Young, Don Woods, been around a few years. Joe Washington, the fine back from Oklahoma, doing a good job. As we said earlier, James Harris, the big quarterback, 6'4", 217, 220 really, from Grambling in his 8th year. Came up with Buffalo. I remember when he first started. Always had a great arm. He said that he had problems holding onto the football, many turnovers, and been doing pretty much the same thing.
Back into the action. First down and 10. San Diego with 32 seconds left to play in the first half. Have it at their own 48-yard line. Dorsey and McDonald are both in there. McDonald in the slot. Dorsey wide. Now McDonald moves in tight. Joyner across the way. 2 wide receivers. Regular pro set of the backfield. And Harris on 1st and 10 from his own 48 is back to throw. Going long and deep for Joyner. And Joyner turns around and looks at the official saying, hey, I was interfered with by Barney over there, but no chance.
No, he wasn't. Barney played it perfectly. You know, since he's gone back to the corner the last 2 weeks, he's had 2 outstanding games. Glenn Barney's really doing a fine job, and maybe getting away for a little while, having the rookie end up playing his position. Now he comes back, and he seems to be like the Lem of old. He's really done an outstanding job.
I talked to Len last week, and he said, I feel really a little more comfortable out there, and I guess that's natural for so many years.
Well, it's a different angle. When you play safety, the backs have more room to cut, and it's really, even I can remember Dick LeBeau going to safety, having a lot of problems tackling.
Dorsey wide here to the right side. Charlie Joyner across the way. Woods and Young in the backfield from the regular pro set. Harris will put it in the air here on 2nd and 10 from his own 48. Back to throw. The rush is off, and down he goes. Charlie Weaver, the first man in there, getting some help from Herbie Orvis, both of them about at the same time, and Woodcock coming along. That is the 3rd sack of Harris here so far in this first half with 21 seconds left to play. And the loss is back to the 35. 13. 3rd and 23. The clock shows 19 seconds.
I think San Diego is going to be content with letting it run out because they had a little momentum going. They haven't been moving the football, so right now you're better off just going ahead and let the clock run out. They'll get the football to begin the second half.
4 seconds.
Today's episode is brought to you by ThisDayInTheNFL.com. Celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at ThisDayInTheNFL.com.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. They'll not get a play underway. They have set the end of the first half and the score. San Diego nothing, Detroit nothing. Crowfoot.
So right now, with the second half kickoff, here's Bob Reynolds.
Owens and Williams back in the deep spot now as Mickemeyer gets set to get the second half of this ball game underway. Comes forward, here's his kick. Going to be taken by Owens at his own 7, 15. Up at the 20, the ball is fumbled, and there's a scramble for it, and the San Diego Chargers have got it back. Owens got it back himself, and so it will be San Diego starting from their own 17, first down and 10.
That's twice that ball's been loose, bouncing around. Neither time have the Lions been able to come up with it. That time, Bill Larson jumping over top of the crowd kind of oohing, doing a good job of forcing the man inside. They came up with the fumble, but of course San Diego retained the ball.
McDonald wide across the way. Joyner on this side. In the backfield, Rick Young and Joe Washington. A shift into power left. Harris at quarterback. No score. The handoff goes in there this time to Rick Young, the fullback. He gets it up over the 20, around the 22-yard line. Herbie Orvis, Doug English. Ernie Price at the 22. 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 to go. San Diego at their own 22-yard line. We're just underway here in the second half. Dorsey wide here to the left side now. Larry Dorsey. Young and Washington in the backfield. Across the way, Joyner. James Harris at quarterback. Rick Youngs and Joe Washington in the backfield. And here is the handoff. It goes short to Youngs. And Youngs gets it up over the 30 to the 31. Cutting over his own left tackle and then back toward the center. Getting it to the 31. 9 yards and a first down. He needed 5, so it is 1st and 10 San Diego at their own 31-yard line.
Last week, the Lions came out in the second half, kicked it to the Dallas Cowboys. They took the football, marched the length of the field, kept the ball over 8 minutes. So they had a little lapse last week, and I'm sure they're hoping they're not going to come up with the same type of performance at the beginning of the second half this week.
Joyner and McDonald are wide receivers. Washington and Barnes now in the backfield. The ball given off to Washington, going to his right, looking for a block. Doesn't get anything. Is ridden out of bounds across the way by James Hunter. And he took him right out to the sidewall. So the official sets it down at the 28. He lost 3. 2nd and 13. I would say that neither one of these offenses, Mike, would scare any two people in the league, would you think?
If you were going to trade for him, they certainly wouldn't be the offense that you'd go out and want to have to start your football team.
Ricky Young and Washington, the running backs. Dorsey wide here to the left side. 2nd down and 13. The 28-yard line of San Diego is the line of scrimmage. James Harris, the quarterback, grabs the ball and goes back in the pocket to throw. The rush is on. He gets out of it. He's going long and deep. Fires it down. He's complete at the 42-yard line to Klein, the tight end. Klein is at the 45, at the 40, and down to the Detroit 35-yard line with it. We got an injured player for Detroit up here at the 46-yard line. He tried to throw a block at the man. And we got another injured player back at the 18. That's Herb Orvis. And a flag back there as well.
Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against San Diego. It's going to nullify that big play. But as you said, they've got a man down, and looking at the numbers that are up, it looks like it might be James Hunter.
Hunter actually looked like he was going to throw a block, Mike, and missed it. And the flag on the play is back down at the 19-yard line of San Diego, so we'll have to wait and see. Dr. Guys, with the brilliant gold vest, goes out to have a look at the injured player. Is it Hunter?
I believe it is. Williams went in. Barney's up, so it has to be Hunter. Orvis was down for a second, but he's okay.
Don Misick, the right guard, was caught for holding against for San Diego.
James Hunter is down, and both Kent Baum and Dr. Geis out there, and then Barney and Walter Williams has come into the game. So Walt Williams, who started the season at left cornerback, Barney's old spot, will be coming in now and taking the place of James Hunter if Hunter isn't able to continue, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to right now.
Still no score in this ball game. Just early in the third quarter of play. We've got some other scores, though. There's been some scoring around the league, thank goodness.
Cleveland scored a touchdown in the second period to tie Cincinnati at 7-7. Dallas on top of the New York Giants 14-3 in the second period. And Kansas City, who fired Paul Wiggin last week, have gone ahead of Green Bay 10-0 in the first period. Miami leading the New York Jets 7-3 in the second period. Philadelphia on top of New Orleans, who beat the L.A. Rams last week 14-0 in the first period. And Buffalo at halftime beating New England 17-7, which is really a shocker. You never know.
You get used to anything. Northwestern led Michigan yesterday 7-0. Would you believe that?
That wasn't like that at the halftime. Certainly wasn't like it at the end of the third period. They had a lot of chances to play Hail to the Victors or the fight song up there. Every time they scored, they must have wore out the band.
Well, I tell you, they had everybody in there playing in the last quarter except the band, too. We mentioned while we have the opportunity, the Lions are on the road next week. They come home for 2 games in less than a week. They play Tampa Bay here on the 20th. And then the Chicago Bears.
Perfectly. Pinckney did everything but hold the football. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is the Detroit Lions Football Network.
3rd and 23. The line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line of the Chargers. And Harris goes back to throw. The rush is on. Throws a screen over there to Washington. Washington's got it. He gets away from one man at the 15 and fights his way to about the 18. Again, the line of scrimmage. Weaver.
The first man, O'Neill, was over there. Washington got away from him, but Charlie Weaver came over and made the tackle.
And we got a little excitement across the way. A few words being exchanged between Lem Barney and a few of the others. Charlie Joyner and Barney having a word or two to say with one another.
Well, if Lem's going to get in a fight, Charlie Joyner will be the guy you want to pick on. He's about 5'11", 188. He's about Lem's size. Want to make sure you don't pick up on one of those big defensive linemen.
4th and 22 at the 19. So, Jeff West will have to punt again for the San Diego Chargers. No score in the ball game. You haven't missed a thing if you joined us just now. 4th and 22, San Diego, the line of scrimmage, their own 19-yard line, and West is back to punt. Little Eddie Payton, who's provided whatever sparkling. The rush is on, but he gets the kick away. Quickly, it bounces around. Payton grabs it, lets it go now at the last moment, wisely, I might add. And the ball is down by the Chargers at the Detroit 41-yard line. So the Lions will start from that point, 1st and 10.
They had a big rush on. He only had the ball in the air for 3 seconds, but the clock is stopped on the field with the score. Detroit nothing, San Diego nothing.
He carved a lot of history in the snow across the...
Well, 18 to go in the third period. The Lions have the football. First, Grin at their own 41-yard line. Landry in the I formation. In the backfield, Horace King and Ricky Kane. The ball is out to Kane. Kane off the tackle with a good quick feed up over his own 45, close to the 48-yard line. You'll see, of course, it matters where the official puts it down. Dejournay along with Don Good making the stop. You have the feeling, Mike, that one of these days, Kane is going to find a hole and be gone.
You like the way he runs. He's the kind of guy I'd like to have on my football team. He plays 100% on the special teams and goes in there at running back and does a heck of a job.
That's 6 yards on it. 2nd down and a long 4 to go at the 47. Between the 47 and the 48, closer to the 47-yard line. And so 2nd down. And Landry at quarterback gives the ball off to Kane again. And he fights his way to midfield. And he'll be to the 49, I believe, and that'll be very close to a first down. 49 of San Diego. Tom Graham was the man who finally made the stop on him. He'll be short of a first down by about a length of the football. So it's 3rd and a matter of inches to go for the first down. 3rd down, rather. And we got 3 tight ends in there now for the Lions. Hill, Sanders, and Larson. Ball just over the midfield marker. 3rd down, less than a yard for the first down. And the Lions were 2 out of 8 in the first half. 3 tight ends in there now as they try to pick up this first down. The ball handed off to Horace King. He gets the first down. Off the right tackle. They drive him back, but they'll allow the forward progress of the ball to the 47 of San Diego. Mike Williams and Charlie Doran in on the tackle. First down and 10, Detroit at the San Diego 47-yard line. No score in the ball game. 10:47 to play in the 3rd period and the clock running. They send Luther Blue wide here to the right side just below us. The line is moving from my left to my right as we look down from the booth. I formation in the backfield. Horace King up tight. And here's the ball faked, and Landry is back to throw. Looking and fires it down the middle. It's complete there at the 36-yard line to Horace King, and he's hit by Hal Stringert. It's another first down for Detroit at the San Diego 36.
That's King's 3rd reception of the day. He went into the game the leading pass receiver in the National Conference with 30 receptions for 172 yards. He had 2 for 38 in the first half, and then this one here in the 3rd period. So he's got 33 catches on the year, 3 today.
Jarvis has gone in for Luther Blue. He comes out wide on this side. Charlie Sanders, David Hill, both the tight ends in there. Horace King up tight. Ricky Kane behind King in the regular I formation for Landry. 1st and 10 at the 36. Out to Kane. Kane coming to his right, cutting inside, and then outside. He's at the 30 and out of bounds at the 29. Mike Williams. I sure like that young man.
He did most of that himself. He took it to the inside, broke it back out. He just really did a fine job of running that time. Picked up 7 yards. It looked like he was going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage, but did a fine job. Picked up the 7 yards.
2nd down and 3 at the 29.
When you see a man doing a job like that, coming in when somebody else is injured, you kind of think of Wally Pipp. Lou Gehrig came on and played a long time. Rick King could be around here a long time.
Bodine has a knee injury. He's out of there, and West has a thigh injury. Luther Blue, wide. He's the only wide receiver across the way. 2nd and 3 from the 29. He comes in to block. The ball is handed off to Kane again. Powers his way down there, close to the first down, around the 26-yard line.
He carries the ball by Stringert.
Stringert was in there. So was Freddie Dean. We wait for the official to set the ball down at about the 27. 28-yard line. So it's third. Short yardage to go for the first down. The ball just over the 27. So make it third, short yardage. Got to get it to the 26. He's at the 27. Third down. Everybody in tight. Landry to King. King is trapped and fights his way up. If they give him to the 25, he's got the first down. So we'll have to wait and see. They're all piled up. It's a first down, says the official. Desjardins, along with Lowe, in on the tackle. Luther Blue comes in. Hubbard comes in. And Larson comes out of there along with Rick Kane. So it is first and 10 for Detroit at the 25 of San Diego.
The last time that Landry had a first down situation, he had that little play action. He had plenty of time to throw the football, and I'd like to see him throw a little more on first down.
Both tight ends in there, Sanders and Hill. I formation in the backfield. Hubbard up close. Horace King behind him. Ball given to King. King off a right tackle, finds an opening, gets it inside the 20, down around the 17 or 18 before Charlie Duran makes the stop. That time he got a little hole, Mike.
There's some good blocking up front that time. Had a big hole. Had he been able to break that one tackle, he might have been able to take it into the end zone.
To the 16 for 9. Second down and a yard now. Checking in defensively is Johnny Lee at that defensive left end spot for San Diego. Charlie Sanders comes out and they send in Luther Blue. Larson is in there, however, along with David Hill.
It's unusual to see Charlie Sanders out and Bill Larson in the game.
So the tight ends are Larson and David Hill. Luther Blue wide here to the right side. The ball, however, is given off to King again. Cuts back in and is met and driven back. And they'll give him just to the 15. A yard, third down. It may be a first down. It all depends where the official puts the ball down. And it is a first down. It's right on the 15-yard line. So it is first and 10, the Lions at the San Diego 15. And this is as deep as the Lions have been since they had that opportunity on the field goal earlier. They were not this deep even at that time. So with 7:27 to go here in the third period and a scoreless tie to this point, the Lions have a first down at the San Diego 15-yard line. Luther Blue wide to the right side in the backfield. Hubbard and King with the power to the left. And here is Hubbard with the ball. Off right tackle. Powers his way to the 10-yard line with it. And there Don Good meets him and drives him back. Ray Jarvis coming in. Luther Blue going out. They put the ball just over the 10. Second down, a long 5 to go for the first down. Statistically, of course, the ball would be at the 15, at the 10, rather, if he went in from this point, because it is inside of the 11-yard line. Second down and a long 5. High formation in the backfield. Hubbard and King. Horace King with the ball off the right tackle. He's down to the 6-yard line with it. Finally stopped there at the 6 by Charlie Duran. Mike Williams tripped him up as he went by, and Duran was there to make sure. It'll be at the 6-yard line. Third and a yard. Duran goes out of there. And they bring in another linebacker. Woodrow Lowe. Third and a yard. Detroit at the 6. Sanders, Larson, and Hill, all three tight ends in there. And the crowd starts to roar as it goes to Horace King. Off the tackle, inside the 5, down he goes around the 2. And the crowd finally has something to yell about. It looks as if the Lions may have a little bit going here. Kane comes back into the lineup now for Detroit, bringing into play to Landry, who goes out to talk to him. Landry making sure that this crowd knows that he's not calling to play. The ball is at the 2. First and goal. First down and goal to go for Detroit. The ball at the 2-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Horace King and Rick Kane from the I formation, with Horace King up tight and Kane directly behind him. And it is Kane with the ball diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, listen to the crowd. They don't have much to cheer about, so we'll give them their opportunity right here.
"59 yards, 13 plays. Rick Kane taking it in from the 2. When Bob said he jumped in, he hurdled that line. He just dove right in, went over top, and fell into the end zone. A lot of effort and offensively, they had a fine drive. 59 yards, 13 plays. Kane going in from the 2 for the touchdown.
Danielson will hold, and Wickemeyer will attempt the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with the score, Detroit 7, San Diego nothing. We pause a moment.
If you haven't added the protection of a fire detector to your home, now's the time. You can save $11 on Sears Early One fire detector that senses combustion, then emits a shrill sound of warning to you and your family. Regular $29.99, now only $18.88, including alkaline battery. And Sears regular $12.99 fire extinguisher is now only $9.99. Sale prices end November 26th at most Sears retail stores in Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Pontiac.
If you're like most retailers, you want an alternative to runaway adflation. Radio is the sound alternative, so retailers use a lot more radio. Joseph Rowan, National Retail Merchants Association, reports,
Our latest NRMA media survey shows a sharp increase in the percent of stores on radio. Now, some 92% of retailers are radio advertisers, and almost half are on radio 52 weeks a year.
For sound ideas, call this station, furnished by Radio Advertising Bureau.
So with 5:08 to go in the third period, the Lions on top, 7-0 on Rick Kane's touchdown hurdle, we might call it, taking it in from the 2-yard line. Wickemeyer converted the extra point. He's getting ready now to kick it off.
Clarence Williams and Artie Owens are in the deep spot. Here comes Wickemeyer. That's his kick away. Good one. Clarence Williams at his own 2-yard line. Up to the 10, 15, to the outside. Haul down at the 20-yard line. Bolton, along with Bill Larson, in on the tackle there, along with John Woodcock. And so, San Diego, first down at 10 at their own 20-yard line. He returned that about 19 yards, picked it up at the 1. So the Lions lead it. And Bill Munson now has gone into quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. If the public address announcer announces that, Bill, I imagine will get a fine hand. McDonald wide to the left side. Joyner across the way. Bill Munson at quarterback. First and 10 at the 20. The crowd now just realizing that it's Munson.
Herbie Orvis kind of waving at him and shook his fist.
And here's a handoff in there to Young, the fullback. And he gets it up to about the 22. And that Lion defense is really fired up, Mike.
They're playing good football. As you said before, it wasn't their fault they were being booed. And right now they came on the field to chorus the boos, and they played excellent football. Right now they came on the field to chorus the boos, and they played excellent football.
Weaver and Orvis, Woodcock, English at the 22. Second down and 8 to go. San Diego at the 22, their own 22. Dorsey wide across the way. Joyner split out on this side. Youngs and Washington in the backfield. And Bill Munson is the quarterback. Calling the signals, grabs the ball, goes back to throw. He fires it now, and it is caught at the 33-yard line, complete. Making the catch over there was Bob Klein, the tight end. Up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a first down for San Diego. 12 yards on the play. Munson's first pass complete for the first down of 12 yards.
This is what you call mixed emotions. Munson, the old friend, you'd like to see him do well, but not too good.
First and 10, the Chargers at their own 34. McDonald wide here to the left side. Charlie Joyner out wide to the right side. Young and Joe Washington in the backfield from the I formation. Bill Munson, the quarterback, shifts him into a power right now with a fullback directly behind him. Now he shifts into a power left with Washington sliding over to the left side. And here's the handoff. Goes in there to Youngs. And Youngs off the tackle up over his 40-yard line to his own 42. We had a flag on the play. Looked like somebody was offside. Maybe John Woodcock, Mike?
I believe he was. He did get across the line of scrimmage.
Offside against Detroit. The gain on the play was to the 42 of 8.
Talked to Munson a little last night. He said that San Diego weather has really helped his arm. He said he feels good. He's never felt better, and he's thrown the ball very well. So we're going to get an opportunity to see that right now.
So the Chargers will take the penalty to make it first down and 5 to go, in spite of the fact they gained 8 yards on the play. And that moves the ball to the 39-yard line of San Diego. First and 5 for the Chargers, and it is 7-0 Detroit with 3:28 to play here in the third period. Joyner comes by to this side, and across the way it is Dorsey. In the backfield, Youngs and Washington with Bill Munson at the quarterback spot. Now they shifts into an I formation with Washington behind Ricky Young's the fullback. It's to Young's the fullback. Off of right tackle, gets his block a little bit and goes to his own 44 with it. And Paul Lumoff pulls him down. It will be very close to a first down as McDonald comes in and Dorsey goes out of there. A change at the wide receiver spot. He's got about half a yard to go for the first down. It's not quite to the 44. So it is now second down, less than a yard.
Be a pretty good time for a little play-action pass for the whole thing.
Got Washington and Youngs in the backfield. McDonald wide here to the left, Joyner to the right side, and here is the handoff. Goes in there to Washington. Washington cuts back in over his center right side and gets the first down up to his own 48. 2:32 to play. First down in the third quarter, and it is Detroit 7-0. Matthews comes in. Youngs goes out. After change in the backfield, Bo Matthews along with Joe Washington. Dorsey split out wide across the way. Charlie Joyner on this side. Matthews and Washington in the backfield, and Bill Munson is at the control. First and 10 from the 48. They had the blitz on, and Munson fumbles the ball, but picks it up himself and gets it close to midfield.
Had he not fumbled that football, Charlie Weaver probably would have tackled him for another loss. When he dropped it, he just ran right by him. He picked it up, ended up picking up a couple of yards on the play.
Second and 8 at midfield. Dorsey goes out of there, and McDonald comes in. They alternate the wide receivers, with the exception of Charlie Joyner, who's gone all the way on one side. Second down and 8. San Diego at midfield. Matthews and Washington in the backfield with a power right. Matthews directly behind Munson. Washington to Matthews right. The play, however, comes to this side. The handoff to Washington, looking for Zablocki. Weaver slows him up. He falls forward over the midfield marker, down to the Detroit 48.
And Weaver again making an excellent play. He strung it out. It was a sweep. He forced him, delayed it long enough for it to help to get there, made him cut back to the inside, and just is playing great football. Charlie Weaver's played as well as linebackers I've seen anybody play the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks.
Rick Young comes back at fullback, and Dorsey comes in there for McDonald. So Rick Young and Joe Washington in the backfield. Dorsey goes wide across the way. Joyner on this side. The San Diego Chargers here in the third quarter are moving from my right to my left as we look down. The power is to the left side now, with Washington to the left of Matthews. And here is Munson back to throw. Drills one down there at the 36-yard line to Bob Klein. He makes the catch and goes down to the Detroit 30 with it before Lem Barney hauls him down. At the 31, they call it. 19 yards, another first down, and Munson is 2 for 2 in the air. And it is first and 10, San Diego at the Detroit 31-yard line.
He had plenty of time that time to get the ball away. He pumped it, found Klein over the middle, and hit him with it perfectly.
John Mitchell, Jimmy Mitchell's going into the lineup now for Detroit. First time we've seen him this afternoon. Clarence Williams is in the backfield. They've got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. I don't know. Will they get the play off or not? And I doubt it. They do not. That is the end of the third quarter, and the score, Detroit 7, San Diego nothing.
If you're like a lot of people, you buy beer with only one thing in mind. Taste is everything. Taste is where it begins, and taste is where it ends. You don't care about what the can looks like. You don't care what the advertising says. You buy beer for taste. So you're the kind of person the Pabst Challenge was made for. Because if you're looking for the best tasting beer, there's only one way you're going to find it. Taste and compare Pabst Blue Ribbon with any other premium beer. Then you decide which one's the best. The folks who brew Pabst think their beer will come out on top, because they have every reason to know it's the best tasting beer you can buy. But don't take their word for it. Take their challenge. Find out for yourself that they don't give Blue Ribbon for being second best. Pabst. Since 1844, the quality has always come through. Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
This broadcast is produced by Frank Beckman, with technical supervision by John Stoker. Our spotter and statistician, as usual, is Walter Dell. Lions waiting, defense waiting for the start of the fourth period. Bill Munson, who came in in the middle of that third period after the Lions had scored a touchdown. It's 2 for 2. He's taken the Chargers down the field. He's got them at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for San Diego. The Lions leading 7-0. So right now, Tommy Prosville making a change, pulling his first-team quarterback James Harris out of there, going to the old pro Bill Munson, 14 years. Of course, he spent many of those years right here in Detroit.
Williams and Young in the backfield now for the Chargers from the I formation. Munson has Joyner Wyatt here on this side, McDonald across the way. It is 1st and 10 for them at the Detroit 31. The handoff in there to Young. Stop at the 30. Good defensive play again by the Lions. Eddie O'Neill in there along with several of the others, including Charlie Weaver and Paul Newhoff. As they unpile. It looks like all the Lions up front were in on the play. Herbie Orvis the last one to get up, and that's not unusual. He's usually right on the bottom there somewhere around the football. Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9 to go at the 30-yard line of the Lions. Young and Washington in the backfield. Dorsey Wyatt hit to the right side. Charlie Joyner out to the left. The shift is the power to the left side with the fullback Rick right behind. A fake, and Munson is back to throw. A flip over here low at the feet of the intended receiver, Joe Washington. 3rd down and 9 at the 30-yard line of Detroit. Here early in the 4th quarter, in a ball game that, to say the least, has featured basically the defenses of both clubs.
Munson went over to Washington, kind of put his hands out like Washington had broken the pattern. He had yelled something to the sideline, so that ball just was thrown right into the turf. So it looked like either a broken pattern or a very bad pass by Munson.
McDonald wide to the right, Joyner out to the left side. 3rd and 9 at the 30. Washington and Young's in the backfield on a regular pro set now. They set Washington a little bit behind the tackle on the left side. And here's Munson back to throw again. The rush is on, and he throws it down here, and it is no good. It was intended for Bob Klein, the tight end. Reggie Pinckney was there to make the hit on him. Weaver was in on Munson.
Again, Charlie Weaver putting a big rush. He hit Munson as he got rid of the football. Munson delivered it. Klein had a chance to catch the ball, but Pinckney hit him as it got there.
And so Rolf Bernerschka is in there now. Rolf Bernerschka, rookie from University of California Davis branch, for a field goal attempt from the 37-yard line.
I'm glad you had to say that, not me.
Bernerschka will attempt it from the 37. It'll be a 47-yard field goal attempt for Rolf. Sidewinder makes the boot. He's got a lot of distance. And it is no good. Wide and to the left. The field goal attempt wide and to the left. And so the Lion defense once again turning in a fine job, forcing the Chargers to go for 3, and they missed it. And with the score, the Lions 7 and San Diego nothing, we pause for a moment.
The Lion defense doing just a super job the last few weeks. Even out on the coast, the game I didn't see, they said they played pretty well. Down in Dallas last week, they played very well the first half, and then it was just too much for them. But now here today, they've just done an excellent job. They held San Diego to 101 total yards the first half. They got to James Harris 3 times in the first half. Here in the second half, the Lion offense, of course, had the ball quite a bit of that third period, 59 yards, 13 plays for the touchdown. So they rose to the occasion. Munson taking the Chargers down the field, but the Lions holding, and Bernerschka, Okay, he missed it. He had plenty of distance on it. Hit it a little wide. Missed the field goal. They bring the ball back to the 30-yard line. The Lions offense taking over. Right now, it'll be a very good time for Landry to be able to move that team down the field, control the football, put a couple of more points on the board, and get this game under control. .05 left in the 4th period, left in the game. Lions have the football on their own 30-yard line.
Now attendance here this afternoon, 76,278. 1st and 10 Detroit, but on 30-yard line. Landry at quarterback as Jarvis Wide moves him in, now to block, hands off to Kane. Kane gets it to the 32 for a couple, 2nd down and 8. Making the tackle, Mike Williams. We'll take 15 seconds here for station identification. This is the Detroit Lions Football Network.
Suzanne Plachette to Tony Curtis. Billy Graham to Alex Haley. The world's most fascinating people are putting...
Back into the action now. 2nd and 8, Detroit at their own 32-yard line. They lead 7-0 early here in the 4th period of play. From the I formation, ball handed off to Rick Kane again. He's at the 40, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, and hit from behind and gets it all the way down to the 30-yard line of the San Diego Chargers before he was hit from behind by Freddie Dean. Fumbled the ball at the last moment. Luther Blue touched it before it went out of bounds, and so the Lions get the gain to the 30 of 38 yards, and it'll be credited to Rick Kane.
And he set it up perfectly. When he got outside, he showed good speed. Looked like he was going to break it back to the inside, made the defender turn, ended up picking him another 15 or 18 yards on the play. So Rick Kane, as we talked about earlier, doing a fine job.
Both tight ends in there. One wide receiver across the way. Marv Hubbard and Horace King in the backfield. It is Hubbard with the ball. Trying to find some running room, and he's hit at the 30-yard line and driven back. Woodrow Lowe, the man who makes the stop on him first of all. Coming back into the lineup, Don Good at the outside linebacker. And into the lineup, Luther Blue. And out of there, Jarvis. It's over the 30. Make it second down and a long 9 to go. That's the 29-yard line. The San Diego 29. 12 minutes and 45 seconds left to play here. The ball game. The Lions have a 7-0 lead. They send Luther Blue wide across the way from us. The Lions move from my right to my left. And Landry with the ball on the reverse to David Hill. Hill is at the 30 across the way. He's at the 25, at the 20, and out of bounds. At the 15-yard line, got a great block out there from Johnny Morris, right about the 20-yard line. Mike Fuller and Tom Graham finally forcing David Hill out of bounds at the 15.
That's the second time they've run it. Last time they played it perfectly. This time the Lions ran it just beautifully, picking up 14 yards on the play, the first down.
First and 10, Detroit at the San Diego 15-yard line. Hubbard comes out. Luther Blue comes out. Ray Jarvis has gone in there. And let's see, the Lions have both tight ends in. High formation in the backfield. Rick Kane and Horace King. King up front, Kane behind him. Landry with the ball, gives it to King, to Rick Kane, and Kane gets it down close to the 12-yard line. Across the way from us in the corner. Making the stop on him there. It's fingered along with Don Good. Luther Blue comes in, and Jarvis comes out as Luther brings in the play to Landry.
So a few more scores. Buffalo on top of New England, 24-7 in the third period. And San Francisco just scored to go in front of Atlanta 7-0.
Second down and 7. Detroit at the San Diego 12-yard line. One wide receiver, I formation to the backfield. Kane again with the ball, off left tackle, gets it to the 10 for a couple of more, and hit there by Freddie Dean. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Detroit at the 10-yard line, and Jarvis comes in with the play now for Landry, and Luther Blue comes out of there.
It's an interesting score. Houston is beating Chicago in the second period, 17-0.
Yep. Philadelphia out in front of New Orleans. Okay, 3rd and 5 here. The line of scrimmage to San Diego 10. Jarvis is the only wide receiver. Horace King, Ricky Kane in the I formation for Landry. Landry giving it to Kane again off the left side. Down to the 5. Fumbles the ball, a scramble for it, and I don't know. The official waving his arms until they untangle because he doesn't know. Landry says it's ours. A couple of the San Diego Chargers say it's ours. But Kane got it to the 5 anyway. Now we'll have to wait and see. I think it's the Lions retain possession, and they do. So that'll be a 1st and goal to go. Looks to me like it was Gary Anderson on the ball. And it was. So Anderson recovers the fumble at the 5 of Kane, and the Lions got a break. It's the inside of the 5-yard line, 1st and goal to go. 1st and goal to go over Detroit. We have an injured player for the San Diego Chargers down there on the 1-yard line. So when we get going again, Mike, it'll be 1st and goal for Detroit with the ball just inside the 5.
A couple of more scores. Cincinnati has kicked a field goal. They've gone in front of Cleveland 10-7 in the third period. Dallas still leading New York Giants 14-3. Miami's gone on top of the New York Jets 14-3 in the third period also. Again, that shocker. It's hard to believe. Buffalo last week gives up 56 points to Seattle, and now they're beating New England 24-7.
The ball is on the 5, so it is 1st and goal to go at 5 yards away. High formation. Kane leaps over and gets it to the 1 this time. Almost leaped far enough to get the touchdown as he did the first one. But it's at the 1. Marv Hubbard comes in now. Mike Fuller As Rick Kane, leaping up and over, got it to the 1-yard line. It is 2nd and goal to go at the 1. Horace King comes out of there, so Marv Hubbard is in there along with Ricky Kane. And Kane has had himself quite an afternoon. And the crowd is saying, give it to Kane, give it to Kane. Well, we'll see. 2nd and goal at the 1, and the crowd roars. Landry calling the signals, gives it to Kane, and he leaps, and he gets in for the touchdown. That's his 2nd one. Listen to the crowd. 70 yards, 9 plays. Kane taking it in, 9:56. The Lions go on top, 13-0. Mickemeyer coming in to try to convert. So the Lions, who for the last 2 weeks have been just totally inept on offense, being fairly conservative, but coming up with the big plays. Rick Kane doing the heavy-duty work, picking up 38 yards in 1 carry, taking it in the last 2 yards for the touchdown. Steve Mickemeyer attempting the extra point. Gary Danielson will hold for him. 9:56 left in the ball game. The snap, the kick, and it is perfect. The clock is stopped on the field, and the score: the Lions 14, San Diego nothing.
It's difficult in this busy world to keep up with everything that transpires on a given day, but we at WJR News summarize your world for you. This is Jennifer Moore. Join us.
Dave White, WJR News.
This is John Chancellor on the NBC Radio Network with comment on the news.
Buck Holly, WJR News.
Tim Jones, WJR News, the state capital.
No resistance whatsoever. In fact, he finally covered himself up with leaves. He was in an exhausted condition.
Tom Campbell, WJR News. Tim Martin, WJR News.
Ann Carlson, NBC News, Washington.
Mike Kelly, WJR News, City County Bureau.
I'm Bill Nordstrom, WJR News. Ron Hanson, WJR News.
I'm glad to be back home. I'm glad to be with Andy and with Jenny. I'm going to convey all of this information that I have to Jimmy. In fact, I look forward to consulting closely with him on a regular basis.
Stay tuned to Radio 76, where news comes first, every hour.
9:56 to go in the 4th period. The Lions on top 14-0. Steve Mickemeyer all set to kick it off. Williams and Owens in the deep spot now for the San Diego Chargers. Owens across the way. Williams on this side. Mickemeyer says he's all set. Comes forward, gets a good foot into this one. Hits it deep into the end zone, and they will not run that one out. Mike, it is just amazing. This club, will go on the road and stick the joint out and then come home here at the Silverdome. And you can't really say that it's the friendly confines of the Silverdome, certainly not this year. And yet, something about here at home in the Dome that does something. The club seems to come up. They were underdogs in this one here today and lead it 14-0. First and 10 at the 20. Young and Washington in the backfield. McDaniel wide to the right side here. Across the way, Charlie Joyner. The flag goes down. The Lions were offside. The pass was complete to Rick Youngs out of the backfield. He gets it all the way up to the 34-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be a first down. Dick Giron along with Charlie Weaver. A flag on the play, but it will be against Detroit, and the San Diego club will turn it down, of course, because the gain was all the way up to the 34 to 14 yards. So it is first and 10 San Diego at their own 34. That's the second time Woodcock's been offside today. Trying to get that little jump on that offensive man and starting a little too soon. Washington and Matthews, Bo Matthews in the backfield now. Their regular pro set for Bill Munson, who is at quarterback for San Diego. Charlie Joyner is the sled end on this side, and across the way, Dorsey. Munson grabs the ball. We're going to get a flag here, and the offensive line for the San Diego Chargers made the move first. And that'll be illegal procedure against San Diego, Mike. Well, they're going back and forth now. It's getting late in the game. And starting with little mistakes coming out. Number 63, Doug Wilkerson. So it is first and 15 at the 29-yard line. Coming into the lineup now was Rick Youngs. He's in there with Washington. Joyner wide to this side, and across the way is McDonald. Bill Munson, the quarterback. First and 15, San Diego at their own 29-yard line. 14-0, the Lions lead with 9:41 to play. Munson dropping back in the pocket to throw. Fires it out here in the flat at the 31-yard line to Washington. Washington, with a couple of good moves, is dumped up to 34. Charlie Weaver. James Hunter at the 34. Gain of 5, second down and 10. Washington goes out of there now in the backfield. They bring in Don Woods. Matthews and Woods in the backfield in the regular pro set now. Two wide receivers across the way, a fake and a quick toss at the 29-yard line over there to Dorsey. Dorsey to the outside is brought down as he gets it up close to his own 38. Charlie Weaver again sliding out to make the tackle.
What a day he's having.
Gain of only 4. Young and Washington in the backfield. 3rd and 6 for Munson, and back he goes to throw, looking, fires it down the middle, and it is no good, almost intercepted. He tried to hit Ricky Young coming out of the backfield. It bounded away, and Eddie O'Neill had a shot at it, but couldn't quite get it, and it comes down to the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th and 6 at the 38. And again, this crowd gives the defensive unit a fine, fine hand.
Lion defense doing their job, so they turn the ball over. If the offense can get the ball, hold on to it, eat up some time on the clock, they'll be doing their job also.
Eddie Payton drops back in the single safety spot. Dick Duran is up over his own 36. The 5th punt of the day for Jeff West. On 4th and 6th, the line of scrimmage, the 38. Here's his punt. Good one. Payton goes over, grabs it on the fly at his own 24, goes to the outside, reverses his field now, looking for some blocking. He's at the 25, at the 30, at the 35, at the 40, at the 45, at midfield, still on his feet, fighting his way to the 41. And listen to this crowd in appreciation of this young fella.
He did a great job setting it up. He hesitated, went back to the other side of the field, held for a minute, came all the way across, took the ball 36 yards, coming back around. The clock is stopped on the field with a score. Detroit 14, San Diego nothing.
It's exciting, eh?
For 1978, Ford introduces Fairmont, the Ford in your future. Fairmont is a new car designed for today and the years ahead with this surprising combination of quality. Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars. Yet for all its room, Fairmont's EPA mileage ratings for sedans with automatic transmission and 2.3-liter engines are the same as the little VW Rabbit with automatic. That's 33 highway, 22 city. Your actual mileage may vary. That's the best mileage rating of any car in Fairmont's class. The Fairmont line includes wagons as well as sedans, with two-door ticket prices starting at just $35.89, excluding title taxes and destination charges. The new Ford Fairmont, roomy but with mileage like a small car, and the lowest ticket price in its class. Test drive Fairmont. Find out for yourself. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
7:52 to go in the 4th period. Little Eddie Payton, brother Walter Payton, bringing it back, giving the Lions great field position, have the ball at San Diego 40. The Lions have an opportunity to turn this game into a rout, which is unusual.
Ball set to go, 1st and 10. Detroit at the 40-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. In that backfield, Hubbard. And the quick toss out to Horace King. King to the right side. Good hole. He's at the 30, at the 25, to the outside and down to around the 22. Then Mike Williams finally brings him down there, and suddenly the offense here has come to life. And I think you have to hand it to this little kid, Eddie Payton, who's only 5'8". Actually, is built like a midget weight hammer thrower. You know, my goodness. And he has simply had a great day running punts and kickoffs back, Mike, and has sparked, seemingly at least, put a little pride into this offense.
Well, he's helped them. Anything like that, lots of times will do is what turns them on. And Eddie Payton's had an excellent day.
1st and 10 at the 21 now of the San Diego Chargers. Hubbard along with Rick Kane, and it is Kane with the ball. Off left tackle, fights his way forward, keeps those legs driving, he gets to the 15. Always going forward, Mike, that kid. Making the stop on him was Don Good. A gain to the 15 of 6, second down and 4. You had to pick out a couple of blue chippers here this afternoon offensively for the Lions. You'd certainly have to go with Rick Kane and little Eddie Payton. Defensively, of course, Charlie Weaver had a great day. Lem Barney with a big defensive play that kept a touchdown off the board. Second down and 4, Detroit at the 15-yard line of San Diego. Kane and Hubbard in the backfield from the I formation. Coming back into block is Jarvis, and Kane with the ball off right tackle this time, close to the 11-yard line. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for Pro Football 77. Dale Conquest will bring you up to date on the other action around the league. And Frank Beckman, of course, will be in the Lions locker room, and he'll be a little pleased this week to go down in there if it stays like it is. It's probably the toughest thing in the world for a guy to go down to the Lion locker room after a game is over when you have two like you had against San Francisco and Dallas. You walk into the coach, you don't know whether he's going to hit you with a bucket or talk to you. The ball is at the 12. A gain of 3, third and just a yard to go. For the first down. Everybody in tight. Marv Hubbard, Rick Kane, and it is Kane. Head over heels for the first down to the 10 and a flag on the play. Man, he sure came to play today, didn't he, Mike?
He's got a great ability to be able to leap in the air. He really gets up high.
San Diego offside. Well, it was 3rd and 1 at the 12. San Diego offside. So, of course, the Lions will take the penalty from the 12 down to the 7. And it'll be 1st and goal to go. And Kane comes out of there. 1st and goal to go at the San Diego 7-yard line. 14-0, 5:41 to go here in the ball game. The Lions coming to life here in the second half. Hubbard in the backfield along with Horace King from the I. And here is King with the ball off the left side at the 5, inside the 5, down to around the 2 goes Horace King. Don Good, the number 1 man to make contact with him along with Tom Graham. And the tight end Bill Larson comes into the play to Landry now, and Luther Blue comes out. So with Charlie Sanders in there, Larson in there, the ball is at the 1. 2nd down and goal to go as Horace King picks up 6 that time. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line for Detroit. Hubbard and King, the ball given off to Hubbard, and Marv goes in to score. Marv Hubbard goes in to score, and he hands the ball off that time to John Morris, who did the blocking for him to allow him to get in. And so the Lions go 40 yards in 5 plays, thanks to that fine punt return of 36 yards by Eddie Payton to set it up. And have gone ahead now 20-0. We'll get the try for extra point.
I wonder if they could get the league office to agree to play all their games at home next year.
Yeah. McAmire will attempt the extra point. Danielson will hold for him. And at 4:57 to play, the kick is no good. And with the score, Detroit 20, the Chargers nothing. We pause a moment.
And the Bluebirds are back at it. Steve McAmire misses the extra point. They start booing, but they should look up at the scoreboard and see that the Lions are leading 20-0. This Lion offense who's come alive here in the second half, mostly on the ground. Rick Kane, along with Horace King, doing an outstanding job. Little Eddie Payton, who did a fine job bringing back the punt to give him to the field position. But on top of that, you've got to credit that defense. The defense has been outstanding. They've shut out San Diego. They kept them in the ball game through that first half. And right now, the Lions are in control of this football game. And it has to be a pretty good feeling. The last couple of weeks, they've taken a lot of abuse. As Charlie Sanders said, all I want to do is stay at home. And I don't blame him, because at some point, your temper must get a little short. But right now, they're on top 20-0. And all the people that have been asking me for the last few weeks, what's wrong with your Lions? I didn't know they were my Lions, but right now they're doing pretty well. They're on top 20-0. They've done an outstanding job.
And Rick Kane. Rick Kane, so far this afternoon, Mike, has got 103 yards by himself and a couple of touchdowns. And I certainly shouldn't say by himself. He's had some blocking, but much of it he's made on his own. And here is McAmire's kick, and this one sails deep into the end zone. No, it doesn't. It's at the 3, and it's taken there by Williams. Going to his left, looking for some blocking. Turns at the 15, at the 20, and down at the 26. John Woodcock making the stop on him there. McAmire got a good flip of that. I thought it was going to sail into the end zone, but you can't say the wind took it, can you, Mike?
Yeah.
Held it up, that's for sure. So they'll start from their own 25, first down and 10, and it's Detroit 20, San Diego nothing.
Philadelphia having the same sort of day. So Philadelphia 21, New Orleans nothing right now.
First and 10 at the 25. After the kickoff return, Young and Washington to the backfield. Waiting for the handoff. There it is. Munson back to throw. Going deep. Throws it down here, and it is no good. Intended for McDonald. Making the play there that time was Jimmy Hunter. He made sure that Dwight McDonald didn't get a hold of that one, Mike.
Munson had the ball right on target, but James Hunter, as you said, came over, made a big defensive play, and stripped him of it. Just hit him around the head and knocked him down.
So it is second down. Still 10 to go for the Chargers, and Woodcock comes out of there now for Detroit. Receiver out here wide to this side is Artie Owens. Across the way is Larry Dorsey. In the backfield, Rick Young and Joe Washington. And Munson is the quarterback on second and 10. And back he goes inside of his own 20. Fires it down the middle, complete at the 31-yard line. In there to Rick Young's out of the backfield, and Eddie O'Neill brings him down at the 31.
When you're ahead 20-0 and there's only 4.5 minutes to go in the game, you'll give them that type of pass every time.
So there is third down now, and a long 5 to go for the first down at the 31-yard line. Coming into the lineup now is Jim Laszlovic, and coming out of there is Doug English. We've got 4:15 to go in this ball game. The Lions leading it 20-0 after a scoreless first half, ignited by little Eddie Payton's kickoff returns and punt returns and the running of Rick Kane. The offense coming to life here in the second half to post the 20-0 score at the moment. Third and a long 5 for Munson. Back he goes to throw, looking, fires it over here in the flat. It is no law, too long, intending it for Ricky Young's out of the backfield. So it brings up a fourth down. Still the long 5 to go. The line of scrimmage, the 31 of San Diego. And Jeff West will have to kick him out of there again.
They haven't sent West into the game. They're going to go for it. It's fourth down and 5 at the 31. I guess Prothrow says, well.
Payton comes out to the sidelines now. So on fourth down and the long 5 from the 31, the Chargers trailing 20-0 are going to go for it. What's the difference? You might as well. 3:52 to go in the ball game, and here is Munson moving out to the right, throws it at the 35-yard line to Youngs, and Youngs is brought down, but he gets the first down up over his own 40 to around the 42. And Laszlovic makes the stop at the 42. Gain of 11. Needed but 5, and it's first and 10 for San Diego at their own 42-yard line. Hand checks in, along with Walt Williams. Munson is 9 out of 11 for 71. Mike, that's a pretty good afternoon for Bill. McDonald wide here to the left side. Across the way is Artie Owens, Young, and Washington in the backfield, and a regular pro set now for Munson, who has the ball first and 10 at his own 42. And the Lions leading it 20-0. Bill goes back to throw long and deep. And it is way too long and way too deep for Artie Owens. Second-year man from West Virginia. Second down and 10 at the 42. And I certainly agree with you, Mike. Nothing wrong with Munson's arm. He threw that one long and deep.
That time, Owens really altered his pass pattern. He had to look back to the inside. Once the ball's in the air, you just can't break it on your own because the ball's thrown way before the man looks back for the ball.
Washington and Joyner now wide here to this side. Washington is in the slot. Joyner is wide. And now Washington goes back into a regular pro set with Youngs. And McDonald is wide across the way. Munson back to throw. Still looking, rolling out, and he's going to be hit, and he was just as he got loose. And the flag goes down. They may call grounding it. I don't know. Herbie Orvis had the bear hug on Munson. So we'll wait and see. He threw the ball away. They're going to call it intentional grounding, Mike. Actually, Herbie Orvis had Munson all wrapped up, and there really was no way that he could get his arm back and start a forward motion. So they ruled that he threw it away and intentionally grounded it.
He had a man in that vicinity. I could have been called either way, really. I think that it wasn't grounding, but again, the official down there has called it, so the Lions get a little help in this quest for a shutout here.
15 yards on the play. Back to the 27, and they lose it down as well. So it's third and 25 for San Diego. at their own 27-yard line. And again, the Lion defense has been excellent here today. That's the sad part of when the crowd boos. If they boo the whole team, they don't deserve it. Here's a quick toss out of the 20-yard line of Washington. Washington is at the 35. Gets it up close to the 40-yard line with it. Maybe he got it over the 40. We'll have to see. But there's a flag on the play back around the 32-yard line. Larry Hand was the man. Charlie Weaver also. But the flag there at 32. A clip called against San Diego. Back around the 32-yard line. So the play started 3rd and 25 at the 27th. And we'll see whether the Lions accept the penalty or not and just bring up a 4th down. Still about 11 yards to go. If they take the gain on the pass completion, the line of scrimmage would be the 42. So while they're talking it over, we'll take 15 seconds for station identification. This is the Detroit Lions Football Network.
4.5 hours of great jazz and stimulating commentary await you on...
That's the 7th penalty for 65 yards against the Chargers.
And it brings up a 3rd and 35 for them back at their own 17-yard line. Joyner wide to the right side here. Across the way, it's Larry Dorsey. And in the backfield, Barnes is back there. And here's Landry to throw, or rather Munson. Throws it out here complete at the 33-yard line to Dorsey. And Dorsey is hit immediately as he gets it up maybe to the 34. That's all. Lem Barney over there closely. Eddie O'Neill, too. So it brings up a 4th down. San Diego line of scrimmage, the 34. Gained 17 on it. So it is 4th down. Long yardage to go. Long 18. And now Jeff West will punt it out of there. And Payton goes back at his own 25. Dick Duran up short around the 42 of Detroit. The 6th punt of the afternoon. And it comes with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left to play. And they may not get it off, and they do not. That's the 2-minute warning. The clock stopped on the field with the score. Detroit 20, San Diego nothing.
There's always been a big difference between someone who talks a good game and someone who plays a good game. It's like that in football, and it's like that with beer. The brewers of Pabst Blue Ribbon don't just talk about taste. They challenge you to taste and compare Pabst with the beer you were drinking. They know that words like quality and heritage are just words unless the taste is there to back them up. And Pabst has the taste the others just talk about. But they don't want you to take their word for it. They want you to take their challenge. Taste and compare Pabst with any other premium beer. And find out for yourself there's a big difference between beers that talk taste and Pabst. It delivers taste. Pabst. Since 1844, the quality has always come through. Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mike Lucci along with Bob Reynolds. 2 minutes to go in the game. The Lions in control, leading 20-0. Jeff West is ready to kick it away. Little Eddie Payton, who's had a great day here today, waiting back to field the punt.
So they go back. Payton at his own 21. Duran up around the 41. And Jeff West back in kick formation on 4th and the long 18 for the first down. The line of scrimmage, the 34 of San Diego. Here's the snap. They set up a kick return. They kick it away from Payton. It bounds around and goes by him. He picks it up on the fly at about his own 13. Goes to the other side. He's at the 15, at the 20, at the 25, and up to the 27. And the crowd just loves the little guy. And a flag goes down.
I wouldn't say a flag. There's about 4 of them that went down. It looks like they're going to have a little fisticuffs out there. But Payton he is exciting. He very nonchalantly just grabbed the football and took it back up the middle and picked up some yardage.
I have to say this. The kid has put the spark into the offense today. I'm sure of it. With the kicks and the kickoff returns and the punt returns. They're going to get a personal foul called against the San Diego Chargers from the 26-yard line at the end of the play, the end of the tackle, and then move the ball up to the Detroit 42, where the Lions will put it in play first down and 10. Sometimes a little guy like that, lifts up a club. Certainly it seemed that's the way it was here today, Mike.
Well, he certainly didn't hurt him. He just gave him good field position. He had one nullified because of a clip early in the game, and he really did an outstanding job.
So the Lions with, a minute and 44 to play, leading it 20-0, have it well in hand here. They have it first and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Luther Blue wide to the left side. David Hill is out split wide to the far side of the field. And here's the handoff. Goes in there to Horace King. Off the left side up to around the 43 or 44-yard line as they untangle. Johnson, Dean in there to make the stop at the 44. Gain of 2, second down and 8.
I'm sure the Chargers are going to be content with letting it run, and they won't use their timeouts. There's no way they can win the game at this point.
Lions taking plenty of time as the clock runs. A minute and 13 to go. Danielson is at the quarterback. He gives it off to Rick Kane going over the right side. He gets it to the 46-yard line, and Tom Graham reaches around and pulls him down. So it is 3rd and 6 with Gary Danielson at quarterback. Luther Blue goes in, and Ray Jarvis comes out of there. Ball just over the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Luther Blue goes wide to the outside. Gary Danielson at quarterback. Rick Kane is in there in the tailback spot, and the fullback is Horace King. Danielson underneath the center, grabs the ball, tosses it out to Kane. Kane cutting inside, gets it again, just about to the line of scrimmage this time. Hit by Woodrow Lowe, and it'll bring up a 4th and 6 at the 46-yard line with just 13 seconds left on the clock, and I think that's probably going to be it, Mike. And so the Lions, faced by Eddie Payton, who put the spark to them, have come up with a victory, and the crowd starts to cheer now as the clock runs down. Gun goes off, and this crowd of 76,278 expressed their approval of the fact that the Lions come back offensively to score 20 points. A great job by the defense. The final score, once again, the Lions 20 and the San Diego Chargers nothing, a shutout. And we'll be back with a recap in just a moment.
Today's episode is brought to you by ThisDayInTheNFL.com. Celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at ThisDayInTheNFL.com.